7 kilometres, 20 turns, nestled deep in the heart of Stavelot in Belgium. This is Spa-Francorchamps. I am Paul Jeffrey, and hello, everybody at home. We are here for the TCR Europe Championship, round number 6, event number 3 of the season, and following an incredible fight all the way through the field. Last time out yesterday, we are in store for what should be a sensational motor race, and I cannot wait to talk you through all of the drama and the action as it unfolds. The weather is considerably better than yesterday. 18 degrees, place 34 on Saturday. A track temperature at 32 degrees and 70% humidity will make for a much smoother process for our drivers. The temperatures were incredibly hot. The racing was incredibly hot yesterday, and now a little bit cooler, the last race of the day. But 2 weeks between now and our next race at the Norris Ring, I have every belief that this is going to be one fantastic example of what touring car racing is all about. On your screen, we have our entry list. Anybody who's new to this weekend and tuning in for the very first time, you will recognise some new names within the field today. We have got not one, not two, not three, but 4 new drivers taking part in TCR Europe, and they represent the RC2 junior team in terms of Ruben Fernandez, Felipe Fernandez and Sergio Lopez, and Marco Butte, the young Italian star, is taking part for elite competition by Com2U today. All 4 drivers will be looking to make their mark. It was unfortunately an early retirement for Fernandez last time out, so he's hoping he can get round the track a little bit further this time and prove his worth. And Tom Coronel, the man very firmly in the fight for the championship, is starting second on the grid, following what was an incredible recovery drive yesterday from 9th to 5th position. Coronel on the front row of the grid will be looking to score big points over his teammate and championship rival Franco Girolamo, who made an uncharacteristic mistake on the final lap from a comfortable race lead to allow Isidro Callejas to take the checkered flag, and with it become the youngest winner in TCR Europe history. So Callejas has a lot of work to do for this race. He'll be starting further down the running order, courtesy of our reverse grid from qualification on Saturday. So keep your eye out for Isidro Callejas. Everybody's up in the hills preparing for what should be an absolutely fabulous day. Josh Files, another man who had a good day on Saturday, scored his first first podium position of the season. Files, spoken to after the race, worked very hard with his target competition teammates to give them the opportunity to take that podium for the team. And Nicola Baldan, his teammate, supported very ably indeed in 4th place. Felice Gelmini, another driver that had more than his fair share of excitement, shall we say, yesterday, almost making contact with his teammates on lap 1 at the La Source hairpin, but again, a strong recovery drive to score a 7th position at the checkered flag. There is Nicola Baldan that we spoke about. Baldan potentially had more pace than teammate Josh Files. Towards the end of the race, Files was carrying a little bit of a mechanical drama in his Hyundai Elantra, but Baldan very firmly protecting the rear of his teammate over the final few laps to allow the 2019 TCR Europe champion to get that first podium of the year. And here is the man of the moment, not yet turned 18, Spanish driver Isidro Callejas, continuing the absolutely incredible form of Volcano Motorsport here at Spa-Francorchamps. Remember, Volcano won a race last season with then-to-be champion Mikel Azcona and won 2 races in 2020. So Callejas and teammate Klim Gavrilov will be hoping to continue that tradition over the course of the next 8 laps here at Spa-Francorchamps, and they are very competitive indeed. So let's take a look at our starting grid. Joachim Galash is our pole position man from Tom Coronel. Mato Homola and Jack Young make up the 2nd row of the grid. Josh Files ahead of teammate Felice Gelmini in 5th and 6th position. Nicola Baldan in 7th, and Isidro Callejas, our race 1 winner, lines up in 8th place. Klim Gavrilov is in the fight for the championship very firmly and starts in 9th, and our championship leader, Franco Girolamo, rounds out the top 10. John Philippi suffered damage yesterday, is 11th on the grid today. Pepe Oriola will be looking to get to the checkered flag. Mike Halder, Marco Butte, one of our new drivers. Victor Davidovsky in 15th position. Van Leonov in 16th. Gamande, Diamond Trophy driver, lines up 17th on the grid, ahead of Michel Halder, Ruben and Felipe Fernandez, 19th and 20th. Martin Rieber is 21st on the grid, and Sergio Lopez, our 22nd and last runner, another one of the debutants here this season in TCR Europe 2022. So there are our drivers. This is the scene. Those people at home are on the grandstands, are waiting just like we are for this race to unfold. A little bit of housekeeping before we start. The race will run for 8 laps. Our finish line is not at the same place as our starting line. For anybody who's new to Spa-Francorchamps, it is worth bearing in mind that the start and finish lines are offset. Here at the track, plenty of overtaking opportunities, plenty of drivers out there looking for some redemption after what was a chaotic, a dramatic and exciting race in race 1 yesterday. If you've not caught that one, I do implore you to go on to our social media feed, our Facebook page at TCR Europe, and catch that race again, because it was an incredible, absolutely incredible feast of touring car motor racing. In particular, Joachim Galasch working his wonders to keep the car on the racetrack following a very sideways moment towards the middle. Here are our drivers' points. Franco Girolami has extended his championship lead courtesy of that second position, and also pole position in qualification. But Tom Coronel very much still in the fight. The ComTU Racing team, 2 teammates at the front of the field, and that will be fascinating to see how that fight unfolds. There is Tom Coronel in the DHL-backed yellow Audi. Coronel, as I say, uncharacteristically low qualification on Saturday morning, brought the car home 9th, which made a hard day's racing on Saturday. Good recovery to get 5th position at the checkered flag, but the key for Coronel is now on the front row of the grid, and the man ahead of him, Joachim Galasch. It's a very new experience for Galasch to be leading the cars onto the grid for the start of the race. Coronel has probably got more experience at this particular circuit than the entirety of the TCR European field combined, and he'll be hoping to tap into that local knowledge as the race unfolds in his bid to take a race victory. But remember, Spa-Francorchamps has undergone significant changes over the winter, so this is very much a journey into the unknown for our drivers. They'll have got the data from practice and from qualification and race 1 yesterday, but still it is a case of finding your feet as the race progresses and just understanding exactly where you can push and where you need to be cautious here at the beautiful Spa-Francorchamps circuit. We saw a number of drivers yesterday retiring in the early stages of the race. Sadly for Brutal Fish Racing, that was both of their Honda Civic cars of Martin Rieber and Pepe Oriola out before even a single lap has been completed. So they'll be hoping for a much better rub of the green as we get to the green flag in a few moments' time. Oriola's had a relatively competitive weekend up to this point, barring his unfortunate retirement. He'll line up 12th on the grid, so an opportunity to score points will present itself. And of course, Martin Rieber is fighting for our Diamond Trophy, and they are 6 Diamond Trophy drivers taking place in the race today, so this is an opportunity for Rieber to get some points in that competition on the board. Marco Butte is our only rookie driver. He starts in 14th position, so should he get to the checkered flag, he will take that victory. But more importantly for young Marco Butte, he will gather the experience of racing at an elite level, the touring car racing that we have here in TCR Europe. Young Marco Butte come from TCR Italy, first time racing Spa-Francorchamps, first time in this championship, and was mightily impressive yesterday. So keep your eye out for the number 111 machine in 14th place on the grid. But let's get back to the business of going motor racing, shall we, folks at home? The last car of Sergio Lopez is lining up at the rear of the field. In a few moments' time, we will see the green flag waved at the rear of the grid to signal all 22 of these cars are ready to go motor racing. Then all eyes to the gantry at the top of the field. There is our green flag. Look for the lights at the top of your screen. When they are extinguished, we will be go for TCR Europe 2022. The second race here at Spa-Francorchamps. Joachim Galasch immediately dives into a race lead. Tom Coronel gets a very slow start for the run down into the source. Contact as well with one of the Halder Motorsport cars. That is Jack Young. Light contact. Somebody runs out onto
onto the gravel on the exit of the corner, the new gravel trap at the exit of the source, but they managed to keep the car going. Galash has a massive lead over teammate Matto Hommler, side by side for Coronel on the run up to Eau Rouge. Not enough of a run for Jack Young to find his way past, but just behind Jack Young, that is Nicola Baldan trying to find his way. Josh Files as well in there. Franco Girolami getting involved as well. Young and Files side by side. Girolami goes to the inside down the Kemmel Straight for the run into the comes. Girolami is in prime position, and the speed of that Audi secures not one but two positions in one move. Franco Girolami, fantastic overtaking manoeuvre to get himself up into fourth position, and right behind teammate and title rival Tom Coronel. There's some fighting between the two Hondas further down the field as well. Everybody squabbling for the track position. Josh Files once again fighting with Jack Young. Nicola Baldan involved in that battle as well. Two Hyundais, and in the middle of it we have got Jack Young racing the wheels off of the Halder Honda Civic. Further down, that's Mike Halder making a position on John Philippi. So Mike Halder getting a good start further down the running order. His sister, Michelle Halder, going side by side with Giacomo Gamandi. Gamandi now racing with our youngster, Marco Bute. Gamandi runs wide and off the racetrack, so he'll be recovering the car in a few moments' time. There you can see the back of the shot, just about gets back on. Again, lost a few positions as well. John Philippi now under massive pressures. There's dust and sand on the racetrack as well. That'll reduce the grip, but the drivers all navigate their way through it. But John Philippi under significant pressure. Mike Halder, the next one in the line, just behind is Victor Davidovski, our Diamond Trophy lead, and that is Marco Bute going for a run through the gravel. A terrible start for Marco Bute, already out onto the off the grey stuff. Bute gets the car back on the racetrack. Hopefully there is no damage aboard that Audi, and he can continue in the race and building that experience. But back up at the front of the field, Coronel, following that poor start, is immediately trying to make amends all over the rear of Matto Hommler. Two Galash car. Matto Hommler under big pressure. Teammate Akim Galash is leading for Yannick Motorsports, but Hommler now is the man that needs to grow eyes in the back of his head, because Coronel is not the kind of driver that is going to hang about. If he sees half an opportunity, he will turn that into a full opportunity. Further down, Mike Halder and John Philippi fight continues. Michelle Halder trying to weave her number 53 machine into the middle of this mix as well, but Philippi just about holds on, and Halder holds station in 13th, 14th and 15th positions. Good run for Coronel over the top of the hill through Eau Rouge, one of the finest corners anywhere in the world of motorsport, through Radion, and now the long run down Kemmel Straight. Galash and also Hommler both trying to break the toe of the chasing pack. That's why they're weaving over the racetrack, to give themselves an opportunity to not allow their rival to slipstream. Slipstream is something that John Philippi's filming doing, and Victor Davidovski throws the car down the inside. Can he get it stopped in time? Yes, he can, but he runs over the escape road and rumble trip. Davidovski takes one position away, but then has to concede again to Michelle Halder. Further down at the rear of his shot, we saw somebody going off into the gravel. We'll have a look who that is in a few moments' time, but very opportunistic for Victor Davidovski. Could not quite get the job done in that move, but he will be back again, I am absolutely certain. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, Yakin Galash is starting to lose ground to teammate Matto Hommler. Hommler showing the pace at this stage in the race. Has Galash got what he needs to start to gap his teammate, or will Yannick Motorsports take the pragmatic view and have a think about swapping those around? The danger is Tom Coronel, ever the hunter, in third position, will be waiting for his opportunity. While these two Hyundais work amongst themselves, Coronel is looking for a way to convert the bottom step of the podium into where he really wants to be, and that is first position. So that's a big fight that's happening at the front of the field. Meanwhile, Franco Girolami becoming slightly detached, 2 seconds in arrears in fourth position. Girolami having a very good opening to this race, but he has got just enough of a gap for Josh Files to not be under pressure. So Girolami, whoa, Coronel very, very aggressive on the curves, the rear end stepping out on that Conti Audi, but he gathers it all together nice and quickly for the run down into the bus stop chicane, and that number 33 machine looks very good on the brakes indeed, and that'll be a boost to Tom Coronel. Knowing that he can get the car stopped faster than his rivals will give him a very important advantage
if and when he chooses to attack. Look a little bit further down your screen and you can see Baldan and Mike Halder fighting. But let's have a quick look at a replay of the start. Poor start for Tom Coronel on the right-hand side of your screen. That opens the door to the second of the two Yannick Motorsport cars at the front of the field. That is Matto Hommler firmly defending the inside lines and give his rivals no realistic opportunity of finding a way past. And that is perfect for Yannick, perfect for Matto Hommler, exactly what he needed at this early stages in the race. Meanwhile, further back, almost everybody is tripping over each other to find a way past. That is Marco Berti that ran out of racing room, unfortunately for Berti, but he's still running. Martin Rieber in strife at the rear of the field as well. The Halder Motorsport team looking on, very nervous faces from them as they're cheering on their man, Jack Young, 6th position at this moment ahead of yesterday's race winner, Isidro Callejas. Callejas obviously very interested in working his way up through the running order, and to quote what he said to us, I want to be a top 3 driver in TCR Europe. Performances like that, Isidro, will go a long way to helping you. This is one of the Volcano Motorsport cars. That is Callejas and Jack Young trading pain through Le Combe. A very good overtaking opportunity here at Spa-Francorchamps, and Callejas elbows out in true touring car style, but Jack Young is not a man to concede position without a fight. And currently the number 62 Halder Motorsport Honda that you see there holds that 6th position, but Isidro Callejas learnt a few tricks yesterday and he'll be looking to exploit them as this race unfolds. Just back from the Callejas and Young fight, we have Felice Gelmini in 8th position ahead of Klim Gavrilov in 9th, and Pepe Oriola, another driver under the radar that has made a good start at this opening few laps of this race, 13th on the grid at race start, now running in 10th position. So Oriola already having a far more successful race than he did yesterday. But look at the damage to Nicola Baldan's car there. So Baldan is carrying a little bit of damage on the rear of the car. The target team intently looking on to see if that's something that will cause a problem or attract the attention of the stewards. Of course, the meatball flag, if that gets waved to Nicola Baldan for a mechanical issue on the car, he will have to come down pit road and put that right. We'll keep our eye on that one. You can see him at the back of the shot. Look at the bit of flailing bodywork on the rear of the car, but it does not seem to be slowing the Italian driver down at this stage, because he's firmly engaged in this fight with Vangini Leonov and Pepe Oriola leading the train at this moment in time. Lap 4 of 8 already. We're about to hit the halfway mark in this race, and I promise you an exciting race at the top of the show, and that is exactly what we've been delivered. Klim Gavrilov getting a great run through Eau Rouge and over the top of the hill into Radion. That will pay him back all the way down the Kemmel Straight. Can Gavrilov use that to his advantage? He goes to the outside, then back in the slipstream, then back to the outside again. Young has the inside line covered. He will run the car out to the width of the racetrack to not give any space. Callejas now, 2 Volcano cars, both Volcano cars, hard in the fight, and that is Isidro Callejas and Jack Young, 6th and 7th position. Just behind, there is the Gavrilov fight that we were talking about, Felice Gelmini, just behind him as well. So Gavrilov now is running in 9th, playing 8th position, should I say, sorry, takes a spot away from the Hyundai driver. 2 Volcano Motorsport cars running line astern. Will Gavrilov have enough speed in the back pocket, though, to close up on his young Spanish teammate, or does he have his hands full trying to keep Felice Gelmini behind? We'll keep our eye on that one. Callejas absolutely desperate to find a way past. Jack Young ahead, kicking up the dirt once again, using the full width of the racetrack and a little bit of the greenery as well to extract the maximum lap time from these TCR touring cars here at Spa-Francorchamps. It's a wonderful track. The cars are moving around in the hands of the drivers so much more than you can see on the television. They really are such a mobile car, such on its tippy toes. You've got to manhandle, but you've also got to really delicately balance a TCR car here at Spa in order to extract the maximum lap time, and that is exactly what we're seeing here with this fight. The number 16 car that you are looking at on your screen of Vangini Leonov, Diamond Trophy driver, won
the Diamond Trophy race for the first time this season yesterday, and that confidence is now starting to show through. Pepe Oriola locks a break, heading down into bus stop. Leonov has the advantage at this moment in time. Oriola not quite having the pace of those around him, so he's under big pressure. Leonov shows his nose to the inside of the source, not quite close enough to get alongside the Honda driver. A kiss at the rear of Pepe Oriola's car as well. That will alert Oriola to the danger, but for Leonov, that will compromise his run and give Nicola Baldan an opportunity. Baldan not quite close enough yet, but will take advantage of the slipstream all the way up Eau Rouge, all the way through Radion, and try and take advantage for the long run down into Le Combe. Leonov not concerned about what's happening behind, more interested in the fight in front. Meanwhile, another one of the Volcano cars is still Isidro Callejas and Jack Young have been at this battle hammer and tongs since the green flag fell, and Isidro Callejas cannot find a way past Irishman Jack Young. Young, one of the talents in TCR Europe, an incredible driver, drove the wheels off of the car on Saturday, and now doing exactly the same again. Sadly for Martin Rieber, gets the car a little sideways through the chicane. Great drifting skills from Martin Rieber, but that is an indicator that there is a bigger problem afoot for the Brutal Fish driver. He's in pit road, and sadly I think that could well be the end of Martin Rieber's participation in this weekend. Yes, there we go, he's out of the car, gloves are coming off, and for the second time in 2 days, Martin Rieber gets to go back into the garage with the sounds of TCR Europe racing cars in his ears, still going round this beautiful circuit. A bad weekend for Brutal Fish and Martin Rieber. It will take heart, though, folks, that his teammate Pepe Oriola in the second of the Brutal Fish Hondas is currently running well within the points in 10th position. So Oriola doing a fabulous job in that number 74 machine to hold on to that position, but Leonov and Nicola Baldan behind will still fancy their chances of making the way past. There we go, we can see them on the racetrack. Coronel once again getting sideways in third place, but Joachim Galash has everything under control. 0.8 per second. In reality, not a lot of time. In touring cars, night and day difference, and that is the advantage that Joachim Galash holds at this stage as the cars cross the line to complete the 6th of 8 laps here at the 6th round of TCR Europe at Spa-Francorchamps. So Galash has everything under control. Teammate Mato Homola acting as rear gunner in second position, and Coronel doing everything he can to hang on to that ComTU Racing Audi and bring himself into the fight. Third place on track with designs on moving forward over the final couple of laps. His teammate, championship leader Franco Girolamo, look at the smoke that comes up from the tyres. Don't worry, that's not a mechanical issue. Wait, I'll interrupt myself as we go back. That is Sergio Lopez, one of our, that's Fernandez in fact. Fernandez going for a wild ride at the rear of the field, one of our new RC2 junior drivers over the gravel, doesn't get the car slowed down. That's an incredibly dangerous re-entry onto the racetrack, but Fernandez does good work to come out just ahead of his brother Ruben in the second of the 3 RC2 junior cars. So very exciting driving from Felipe Fernandez. 18th position is his reward so far, and third in the Diamond Trophy class. Speaking of Diamond Trophy, Evgeny Leonov, 11th position, is our Diamond Race leader. Victor Davidovsky continuing the form that we saw yesterday, second in class, 16th overall. Giacomo Gamandi running third in class in position 17th, just ahead of Felipe, and then Ruben Fernandez and Martin Rieber, who we spoke about earlier, is sadly now a retiree and sat down below me in the commentary box in pit lane. So a good fight, as always, in our Diamond Trophy classification here in TCR. Currently, Leonov is the man on form, overall on form this weekend as well, is Evgeny Leonov. A very good result yesterday to take his first Diamond Trophy win and a top 10 overall, currently running in 11th position. Now, Coronel, has he run out of pace, run out of grip in that ComTU Audi? Slowly but surely, the yellow machine is dropping away from our 2 race leaders, and that is bringing, dangerously for Coronel, Franco Girolamo into the conversation. Girolamo, Coronel, 1 and 2, with Girolamo the advantage in the championship standings, and Josh Files He fancies his chances as well, firmly in the slipstream of the Audi, boosted by his first podium of the year in race 1 on Saturday afternoon. Josh Files has not done for the day as well, painting the car to the rear of Franco Girolamo. So Girolamo, the Argentinian driver, has a problem now. Does he concentrate on closing down and hopefully passing Tom Coronel ahead, or does he keep his eyes firmly on the rear view mirror for a hungry Josh Files? That's Ruben Fernandez, another one of the Fernandez cars in trouble. Massive bounce as he goes through the gravel trap, and I'm hearing in my ear, folks, that we have got drops of rain on the racetrack. The first time this weekend the wet stuff has fallen. Now this is the definition of a journey into the unknown for these drivers. They're lucky that the tyres have heat in them, courtesy of the 6.5 laps that we have run. But if the precipitation gets too high, the grip gets too low, Joachim Galash is the first man that will be testing out those conditions, and this could be, well, this is exactly what Galash does not need. He does not need a variable thrown into the mix that could put his race lead and potential race victory into jeopardy. So as this rain begins to fall, it is only very, very light. I'm looking out of my commentary box window. It is very, very light, but it will add a greasy surface into the mix. These cars obviously are running on slick tyres, and when the circuit is so large, 7 kilometres at Spa-Francorchamps, the conditions can be different at different parts of the race. So every lap, every corner, every straight, you're driving in to a new adventure. You've got to make an assessment. Will the grip be there for me? One miscalculation, one mistake, or even just going into it a little bit safer than you need to do, and suddenly everything can change. And Galash has the unenviable position of being the first driver to sample these new conditions. His teammate Matteo Homola, Coronel, Girolamo, Josh Files behind, they can all assess what the track feels like based on the behaviour of that Yannick Motorsport Hyundai Elantra at the front of the field. So we'll keep our eye on the weather. It does seem to be getting a little bit drier on the track, so only a sprinkling of rain. I don't think we're going to have a downpour by the time this 8-lap race completes. But it's all drama, it's all spice. Throw some spice into the mix, what do you get? You get a great motor race, and that's exactly what we're having. Franco Girolamo now running down into the bus-stop chicane for the 7th time of 8. Josh Files now, you can see the body language of the number 99 target competition Hyundai Elantra. Files fancies his chances of making a move on Girolamo. Files will know that Girolamo is the championship leader, cannot afford to defend too hard, cannot afford to put too much risk into his defence of this position, and that is all advantage Josh Files. If he sees an opportunity, he will take that opportunity. Pepe Oriola just about holding on to 10th position as we head into our final lap. This is the opportunity now for Files, up through Eau Rouge and Radion, as near as enough flat out in one of these cars, but you have to balance the car, you have to balance the steering. Files now will stick in the slipstream of Girolamo. This is the corner that Girolamo made a mistake on the final lap as well, where he didn't have the braking capacity and lost the race lead. Jack Young at the rear of the picture, heavily on the defensive from Isidro Callejas. Callejas cannot get the car alongside. Young just about holds on, but Callejas is another driver that is desperate to leverage the advantage. Giacomo Comandi and Victor Davidovski contact into the source. Comandi out of control on the brakes. You can see the rain on the camera. Davidovski turns in, and that is a hard hit for those two drivers. Victor Davidovski, Giacomo Comandi, Diamond Trophy drivers, now out of the race. Our drivers don't need to worry about that at the front of the field. We're not going to come to the source again at racing speed. This is the final lap. This is the last opportunity for any of these drivers to further improve their position. Joachim Galash, big advantage at the front of the field. He just needs to be mindful of track conditions and bring the car home to the checkered flag. There is Victor Davidovski's car stranded in the middle of the racetrack. Disappointing end to the day for Davidovski and for Giacomo Comandi. Spoke to him this morning in the hotel, and he said, "You didn't talk about me in the race." And I said, "Give me some drama, I'll talk about you." But that's not the kind of drama, Jacko, that we wanted to see, unfortunately. Both drivers into retirement on the last lap. But here we go. Josh Files, windscreen wipers ablaze on Joachim Galash, just giving himself a clear view. Has Josh Files got enough straight line advantage? Can he take the slipstream of Victor Davidovsky for the run down into the bus stop? This is the last opportunity for Josh Files. The car's on his tippy toes, goes to the outside. Girolami on the defensive on the inside. Who's the last of the late breakers? That is Girolami, but he runs deep. Franco Girolami runs deep. Files tries to get the switch by. Does he have enough time? At the front of the field, Joachim Galash takes the checkered flag, and with it, the race victory. Absolutely outstanding performance. Matto Hommeler, his teammate, comes across the line as well. That is a 1 and a 2 for Yannick Motorsports. Tom Coronel, 5th in race 1, 3rd in race 2. A solid day's work. Franco Girolami holds on at the death from a hungry Josh Files, 4th and 5th. Jack Young, Isidro Callejas, their fight continued to advantage Jack Young and Felipe Fernandez. Unfortunately, as you're seeing out on the screen, the RC2 junior driver sadly comes to an early conclusion, does not make it to the checkered flag, clearing the stones out the radiator, not to blow the engine, but there we go, waving the arms. Frustration for Felipe Fernandez and a retirement right at the very death, just like this man, Victor Davidovsky. Heavy damage to the front of the Continental Racing Audi. The low loader coming to immediately scoop that car up, get it away from the racetrack and the line of fire, because of course we've got a very busy day of action here at Spa-Francorchamps with multiple races taking place, so that needs to be cleared very, very quickly. The track swept and the next line of cars coming out. But here we go. Joachim Galash, there is Nuno taking some social media shots as well for TCR Europe, so make sure you follow our social media channels. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok as well, so do give us a look. We'll try and give you plenty of insight over the weekend, and this is a man I'm going to be talking to after this race, I am certain. Round 6 winner for Yannick Motorsports, Joachim Galash, a really nice guy, Another young charger. Look how much that means to Joachim Galash. The team immediately going over and giving them his support. And teammate Matto Hommeler as well, a touring car stalwart, another great driver, comes in second position. Let's have a listen to what Tom Coronel's got to say.
No words of wisdom, just congratulations to our newest winner in TCR Europe, Joachim Galash. He is so happy to have taken those 40 points, the checkered flag and the trophy that comes with it. Big congratulations to Yannick Motorsport. They've not had the easiest of seasons in 2022. They've often been found in the heart of drama, so that will go a long way to motivating the team. And Franco Girolami now 205 points, plays 174. For Tom Coronel, Klim Gavrilov stays in 3rd position, and Isidro Callejas does his championship charge. No world of harm by winning in race 1 and getting a very, very strong 2nd position in race 2. So Callejas very quickly started to establish himself as one of the front runners in TCR Europe, but we'll worry about the championship next time out. Let's just see some of the absolute euphoria of Joachim Galash for that race victory. What a drive, what a performance. Mark James that we see down there ready to conduct the interview with our race winner before we go to our podium celebration. So no doubt we'll speak to Joachim in a few moments' time. He's just getting all of his hands, safety equipment, helmet and gloves off. Of course, drivers use a hands, head and neck protection system. It's become very much the standard in motor racing nowadays. It goes a long way to protecting drivers in the course of an accident. So get all that gear off, and we are getting ready to interview Galash in a few moments' time. So let's hand over to Mark James on pit road.
Do I look at you or look at me?
Look at me, yeah?
Okay.
Well done.
Thanks.
Joachim Galash, winner number 6 from 6 races. How do you feel?
I feel amazing. I mean, I would be happy this year for a podium, but a race win and lights to flag from pole position, it feels so good. It was very well controlled. I knew I had the pace. I just had to preserve the tires. Then I pulled away until the end, and that was it.
How much confidence did you get, the fact that Matto was behind you and protecting you?
Well, I felt more like he was chasing me than protecting me. So anyway, on this straight, I always try to break the slipstream a bit to get myself a little bit more space into the later stages in case my tires were dead and others got close. So yeah, that was covered, and a race victory.
A victory and a 1-2 for Yannick. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Was it good enough?
Great to hear from our race winner, Joachim Galash there, and the wry smile on his face when Mark suggested that he was being protected by Matto Hommola. That's the face of a man that knows that wasn't a protection job. That was two drivers, tooth and nail, fighting for the race victory. So well done, Joachim Galash, and these are our results. Galash, our race winner from teammate Matto Hommola, and Tom Coronel make up the podium. Franco Girolamo for Come To You Racing is just ahead of Josh Files in 4th and 5th position, with Jack Young and Isidro Callejas producing incredible fighting. 6th and 7th at the checkered flag. Gavrilov just ahead of Felice Gelmini in 8th and 9th. And Pepe Oriola, despite coming under significant pressure race long, holds on to that 10th position just ahead of Evgeny Leonov in 11th. Nicola Baldan from brother and sister Mike and Michelle Halder in 12th, 13th, 14th. John Philippi gets to the checkered flag in 15th position ahead of the first of our new drivers, Ruben Fernandez in 16th. Sergio Lopez 17th. Marco Butte, who had an off-track moment, comes across the line in 18th position. Giacomo Gamande comes in 19th place, and Fernandez and Davidovski. Let's have a look at some of the highlights. Well, the expected rain did not fall as we anticipated in the final few laps, but that would not have dampened the parade of any of these top three drivers. Tom Coronel, there we go, going out onto the podium position, taking the applause of the team's fans and crowd for the bottom step of the podium. Always a character, Tom Coronel, always good for entertainment, wears his heart on his sleeve, loves his touring car racing, and he's on a rich vein of form. Matto Hommola jumps up for second position on the podium for Yannick Motorsports. Cheers from the team down below as well, and a round of applause for Hommola, and then the biggest cheer and the biggest round of applause for all, Joachim Galash for taking the race victory. Look how young Galash is compared to his teammates on the podium. Another one just like national anthem came a little bit sooner than I expected, caught me out there, but as I was saying, Joachim Galash, just like Isidro Callejas yesterday, one of the absolute superstar talents that are coming through in touring car racing. So this man is a name that you need to get used to, because we're going to be seeing a whole lot more of Joachim Galash in the weeks, months and years ahead. A superb driver, the Yannick Motorsport team. And look, Tommy Coronel's young lad coming onto the podium to give Dad his trophy for third place. A massively proud moment for Tom Coronel, a full family affair, and just look how much that means to the Dutchman. A nice touch that we see his son there on the podium with him, sharing this moment. There we go, second place trophy awarded to Matto Hommola. Hommola a very talented driver himself, now in his very early 30s, but still a force to be reckoned with, and he will take confidence from this performance. And that, ladies and gents, is the most important trophy that Joachim Galasch will have in his collection. A race winner at Spa-Francorchamps in TCR Europe, the 6th winner from 6 races, no less. That is a massive boost for himself and this team here, Yannick Motorsports. As I say earlier, they've had a difficult time, but they have bounced back in style. 1 and 2 in this race. Perfect execution, great driving from both of their drivers. Marco Butte taking the rookie trophy as well. Another big learning experience for the Italian driver. Fascinating to see his progress. And everybody joins the podium for the official photographs at the end of the day, including Rocco up there as well, sharing the limelight with Dad. Fabulous, fabulous driving from everybody. And just like I promised you at the top of the show, I said we're going to have a good race. And I dare say, a good race was had as Rocco runs away quick for the champagne moment. Everybody's celebrating in fine style. It's much cooler today, so we can be a bit more lively. We don't need to conserve the energy like we did at the scorching temperatures of yesterday. And Joachim Galasch gets a face full of the fizzy stuff from Tom Coronel. Absolutely fabulous scenes here at Spa-Francorchamps. Let's take a look at the championship standings following the conclusion of rounds 5 and 6 from event number 3 at TCR Europe 2022. Franco Girolamo, our championship leader, 31 points to the good from Tom Coronel, with Klim Gavrilov holding 3rd position, 52 adrift from the top of the standings. Isidro Callejas had a good weekend, holds 4th place ahead of Josh Files. Jack Young moves up the order into 6th position ahead of his fellow Honda stablemate Pepe Oriola. Nicola Baldan, the Italian driver for Target Competition, is 6th. Joachim Galasch, our newest race winner, is 9th in the standings. And our drivers have all performed incredibly well. Matto Hommerle moves forward to 14th overall. And that was wonderful. Everybody, I hope you enjoyed it just as much as we did. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back again for the next race on Saturday, the 2nd of July at Norris Ring. Thank you all. I've been Paul from TCR Europe. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.